What would you say are the 3 most important things to consider when building a rural fence? Just check out the ground here. Look at it move underneath my feet. G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and I'm not going to sit on the fence for this video because I literally can't. Because if you're not great at fencing and you've got some tricky rural fencing to be done, then it's best to call in the pros. Let's get into it. You guys see that roo?
Yeah, it's a roo, isn't it?
I reckon it came down from that way, was probably just going to hop through my property as usual. The fence has stopped it. So it's already doing the job. So you guys, Corey, Gary, you're nearly finished now?
Yeah.
Just putting the gate on, and is that it?
Yeah, and a bit of a tidy up and then load it all up and then, yeah, head out. So
what's that all up? How many metres?
Oh, there's 184 along here and then 110 along the back.
And the neighbour with Chris?
Yeah, he was 152 or something.
Yeah, so that's a fair bit of fencing.
Yeah,
and you found it a bit tough going through the scrub down here?
Yeah, sure, it was a bit wet in places there.
Just check out the ground here. Look at it move underneath my feet. The majority of this whole back area is like this. Hats off to those guys who are able to put this in nice and solid all through this rubbish. This is the first time in 15 years that we've able to see the actual fence line down that bottom boggy corner.
Yeah,
you know?
We'll let a bit of daylight in there now.
Yeah, but you've also maintained a lot of the tree integrity and the forest down there, which is just superb.
Yeah, well, mainly sort of just try and clear what you can to get your fence through, and then whatever it's not affecting, we'll leave it be.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I've got some questions for you. What's the longest fence line you've ever built?
The one job would be 300k.
300? I was going to say, I'll bet it's probably about 20 or 50. No, 300?
Yeah, it was 300k. What? That was up in the Northern Territory, up off the Plenty Highway there.
Yeah?
It was 3 boundary fences joined together. We were just out off the edge of the Simpson Desert.
Yeah.
So we just camped along the line where we got to each day. We cleared all the line with an old grader that they had there, and just kept at it. It took us 6 months.
So just on a side note, so Corey's Rural Fencing, that's the business name.
Yeah.
So do you go around Australia, or are you mainly around Queensland, southeast Queensland?
Anywhere here, but like for big jobs like that, you know, like you travel.
Cool.
So
300 Ks.
Yeah,
oh,
so,
jeez.
Yeah, so we knew what we were doing each day.
Yeah. So, what post do you use and why?
Always use ironbark. I just like the ironbark. Like I've used tallow wood, yellow stringy for the last probably 10 years or so. Like we've just used all ironbark.
Good strong wood. Yeah. How long do you expect, say, these posts to last?
Well, like most of these would be 25 to 30 years. Depending on areas and that, like some people prefer yellow stringy or tallow wood because they don't burn, but then it's just one of them things, that's the idea of keeping your fence lines clean and so.
And how deep do these posts go?
Well, your round posts, they're all 4 foot in the ground.
So that's the corner posts and that?
Yeah, that's your corner posts.
The big strong ones that you tension off?
Yep, they're called a strainer.
Yep.
And then you have your stay, so like the strainer posts there 4 foot in the ground, then you put a stay, and then I bash a full fence post down for a butt that holds the stay.
Does that go off?
So that there is the stay is probably about 5 foot in the ground.
Really? I didn't know that.
And then your running posts, which is your split posts in the middle there, they're all about 2'6" in the ground.
Gee.
So
yeah.
And then that leaves you 1300 out of the ground, and then your top wire is normally about 1200.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, they aren't going nowhere. What equipment is essential to construct rural fencing properly? So your main piece of equipment.
Oh, well, like you can start with a crowbar and shovel, or you know, sometimes we always go back to a crowbar and shovel because you can't get a tractor there. But but if we got like all these post drivers and stuff, so that's sort of the old post hole digger. It's gone out.
Yeah.
And but mainly probably having like equipment with a post driver and tractor, well, it just makes your job a lot easier. And
You couldn't get the tractor down that bottom left-hand corner to tension the wire.
Yeah.
So you used a traditional strainer then.
yeah, so there
Yeah.
we use normal strainers. You know, you still go back to the old ways.
Yeah.
Because there's just places you can't get
Yeah.
the machine in unless you want to destroy a heap of country.
What would you say are the 3 most important things to consider when building a rural fence?
Oh, probably main thing would be to make sure the fence is going where you really want it to be. And then another thing, I suppose, is to have your line clear, clear your line, and then pick the right fence for, you know, what you want to do. So,
Yeah.
because there's all different types of fences. So, it's just really one of the things is mainly what suits you and what your needs are. So,
And this type of fence, what would this be good for?
well, this is good for anything. Like, you know, you can have this like for cattle, for sheep, for dogs, or like, you know, mainly and vermin proofing your yard, like
Yeah.
or your paddocks. That's probably mainly one of the other reasons they use the netting, like the hinge joint, is to vermin proof.
What's the hinge joint?
It's like with your netting, like they just call, like this one here,
Yeah.
it's just the hinge joint, because that's just the way it's sort of put together. There's a few different types of netting.
Yeah, so I see what you mean, because a lot of them are just welded together.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's all actually joined and twisted.
So they don't push through and then make a
Yeah.
hole.
So,
Oh.
but
So yeah, good quality netting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and mainly just use your heavier stuff, because the lighter stuff is you get what you pay for.
When I first got here, I put down a really terrible, compared to this, steel post fence as you tore it out anyway. But we took within a couple of years, it had just fallen over and the pigs pushed it over, and it was totally useless. But yeah, timing was right to get it done now. Back then timing wasn't right. I didn't have the cash or the time and effort to do it, but all the machinery, all the know-how.
Yeah.
But I just it was a great opportunity that you guys were working on that boundary fence with Chris and I, because the horses pushed that over, and I thought, I wonder if I'd be lucky enough if you weren't booked out to just do the rest of this, and you could just fit me in.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate it, and you've done a wonderful job. So thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, guys.
No worries.
I'll let you finish the gate off, and cool.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Crikey, I'll tell you what, that is one solid fencing post, as is this whole fencing job. I couldn't be more happier with how this fencing job has turned out. Corey's Rural Fencing. Look those guys up if you're interested or needing to get any rural fencing done, because these guys really know their stuff, and this job is testament to their skill set. This is really difficult and something I could not have done myself. They did me no favours, mind you. I didn't get any discount or any special deal done. I just want to promote these guys, because if you need a fencing job done and you're in Australia, those are the guys that you want, is someone who's reliable, not on the cheap, someone who gives you frank, good advice, and is still affordable, I believe, anyway. I think it was a reasonable price, but this was a really hard job, so I was happy to pay a little bit extra. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big, solid fencing post, like a real corner post, thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video around. I know fencing isn't everyone's big deal, but hopefully you found it interesting. And even if you're not into fencing or needing to get some fencing done, I just hope you found it entertaining and interesting anyway. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.